quintessentially Erland, but it's about as groovy as a Swedish man's going to get.
I have to say, I'm a massive Erland fan and the Kings of Convenience fan, and I've not heard any of Whitest Boy Alive yet, so I'm anxious to hear this one. Whitest Boy Alive, Erland Oi's outfit, Swedish, of course, and a track called, what was it, Vic?
The track is called Fireworks, Steve.
Thanks very much indeed. I've enjoyed almost everything that Erland has done, and it was, of course, you who once named the music that I enjoy as the soundtrack to When Spods Dance, and that is archetypal When Spods Dance music, isn't it?
I think that's when Spods get it down and get it on. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that a new release? Is it something that's just come out?
It's not a new release, actually. No, it was out, I think, around September of last year.
September of last year?
Absolutely, yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You know, this is the thing. What always angers me is that I've been harping on about the Kings of Convenience for years, and why wasn't Erland should be phoning me up and notifying me? I can't keep abreast.
Why weren't you told?
This is exactly how I feel, and that's very much what this show is supposed to be about, really, is kind of music that just seems to slip under the radar, and
absolutely.
And there we are. That's a perfect Steve Show choice. Round of applause for Steve Lightstar for just digging it out.
But fear not, Steve, if you actually want to book Erland Oye, he's very helpfully and handily included an email, actually a URL, which is bookerland.com, where in any one of his incarnations you can just email and ask him, and he'll toddle along and he'll play for you. I'm sure some could be to travel, as long as you'll put him up the night before, give him some food.
Give him some food.
It's all there, actually.
Right, we got Jude. Can you check it out, please, and see if we can get Erland Oye? See if we can get him to do it for free, and he'll pay his own way. All right, we're not made of money.
The URL is bookerlandoye.com.
Thank you very much indeed. All right, your third choice, Vic Sharma.
My third choice is from a guy called Bill Callahan.
Callahan, of course, who was formerly known as Smog. His band was Smog.
Yeah, I think he still is known as Smog.
Okay.
In some circles. I actually got this. I got this track from Pitchfork, which is a fantastic website that kind of like reviews and trawls through kind of like indie labels for the best music. And they've got this weekly thing called the Forkcast.
Nice.
Where a lot of indie labels kind of release MP3s for download. It's completely free, so don't worry about that. Yeah. And so this is one of the tracks. He's obviously now famously Joanna Newsom's boyfriend.
Right.
And if you go to his website, you'll see loads of pictures lovingly taken by her of him, which is kind of sweet, in that kind of sick-making kind of way. But this one's called Sycamore.
Bill Callahan, Sycamore, lovely final choice from Vic Sharma on the Steve Show this delightful Easter Sunday afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the weather, but I hope that you're still listening to the show. I mean, I don't know why I said that, because if you're not listening to the show, you wouldn't have heard that appeal to listen to the show. I've embarrassed myself once again. You've had a text, haven't you, Howard, that's been slamming me?
Yeah, basically, someone's got quite angry, really. I'm always amazed by how angry people get. We said Erland Oye was Swedish. He's not Swedish, he's Norwegian.
Oh, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's all over there.
But if you're to
it's all foreign.
If you're to see the spelling and grammar on this angry email, you know, no one's perfect. We've all got our faults.
We've all got our faults.
Let's just all get along.
I'll tell you, geography is one of my big failings. I don't have any idea. Test me. I have no idea where anything is.
Where's Spain?
No idea. There you are. Proof. If proof be needed that I'm rubbish at geography. Thank you very much indeed, Vic Sham. We've enjoyed your choices enormously, and as always, you've done us proud. Will you hang around? Will you stick with us?
I might,
because I'm going to be digging some tunes out of my pigeonhole later and playing those for your appraisal and approval. Perhaps you'll hang around and give us your opinion of those a bit later.
Look forward to it.
Thank you. From 2003, The Thorns and Long Sweet Summer Night. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music. Now, obviously, we have been recommending tunes to you, the listeners, but you, the listeners, of course, get to return that favour. You can check out the webpage, bbc.co.uk/6music. You can make your selections there. Someone who has done just that is on the line now. Am I speaking to Zenat?
Yes, you are. Hello.
Hello, Zenat. That's a very unusual name. What's its derivation? How would I derive that name?
Asian. I'm pretty sure there's a famous Bollywood actress called Zina Aman somewhere.
And you were named after him or her?
Well, not necessarily named after her. I think the meaning of it is something like natural beauty or something.
Ooh, are you a natural beauty?
Not particularly, no.
Are you someone who's got to work at your beauty, like me?
Yeah, pretty much.
I look great
Like all
in
teenagers.
from a very certain perspective, with the lighting exactly right, wearing the most expensive suit I can find, with a very, very good photographer. I can look almost $100.
You always look very good in the magazines, and then I see you on a Sunday and you just look like crap.
Are you talking to Zena, or? So where are you calling from, Zena?
Finchley.
From Finchley, here in London.
Yeah.
And are you not out and about enjoying Easter?
No, I was yesterday. I went down to the Thames and with my friends, and we went on a boat tour of it, and it was very lovely.
And what did you make of the Thames? Pleased with it?
Yeah, it's great.
It's all right, isn't it? Are you one of those people like me? Everyone else we flood outdoors, don't we? When there's just even a semblance of hot weather.
Yeah. I mean, last Sunday I remember it was really lovely and hot, and I just took a book out, and it was like 1 o'clock, and I didn't come back in until like 5. I was just sitting there reading for hours and hours and hours.
Oh, sounding a bit intellectual. What were you reading?
Tony Parsons' The Family Way.
Oh, I wouldn't say that was necessarily intellectual. You let yourself down there, Gina. I shouldn't have asked you. Or you should have. You always have a book that you can claim you were reading. Whenever, because sometimes I have to do interviews and people say, "What you're reading at the moment?" And I always say, something like A Brief History of Time. I'm just rereading A Brief History of Time.
Well, I did.
Just marking the mistakes.
Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. So.
Oscar Wilde, yeah, Dorian, sure. Although it's a bit sort of. I would say probably just read the comic book adaptation. I think you can find it, or get the cartoon. There's bound to be an animated version of that. Yeah. An animated version with animals as the main characters.
I shall
they normally
it straight after this call, I assure you.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 17. I'm just about to do A levels.
Okay. You sound very smart and assured for that young age.
Really not. Do you know something? I'm supposed to be working, and I haven't worked at all this week. I've just been sitting around watching DVDs. It's absolutely appalling.
And what are you studying?
English, politics, and economics.
Oh, blimey, you are a brainiac. Good luck with that. When does that all kick off? Because don't the exams take place in the summer, which I've always thought was one of the cruelest things they could do.
It really is, yeah. And some of them are really, like my English exam is like 2 hours long. It's going to be hideous.
What is it? Because I remember we did Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Boring.
We've got what are we studying? We're doing Chaucer, The Merchant's Tale, which is an
Chaucer.
nightmare.
Yeah.
We're comparing Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, and Emma, and we're also doing Othello.
Oh, Othello's good. I like that one.
Yeah,
I like that one because it uses the word. It was the first time I came across the word cuckold. It's nice. It's nice to be familiar with that word cuckold. Never always pop that straight in an essay. Hey, a word to the wise. One of the things that I notice always works well in essays. A couple of quotes. Just get a couple of generic quotes, right, that you can apply to almost any question, and make sure you whack them in there. So get some kind of decent professor or some kind of weighty tome, right?
Yeah.
Leaf through
have
it.
you got anything for me?
Well, I'm trying to remember. I remember I had one that was something like, Henry VIII's policies were like fragile eggshells on which the nation must
I
walk.
could write that about Othello, but
Well, sure, but I'm hoping there's something that's similar to Shakespeare. But what I like about the fragile eggshells thing was it didn't specify which of his policies that was. So you could apply that to any question. So something maybe have one from me. Steve Merchant says Shakespeare, not quite as good as I, but forsooth, a talented man. Good luck with all the exams. When do they all kick off?
sorry?
When do they all kick off?
June the 8th, I think.
Oh, that's nasty. And what tune have you chosen for us? What has been distracting you from your work, music-wise?
It's a song called Never Lose Your Sense of Wonder by Yeti.
Okay.
They're a band fronted by John Haysall, who was the libertine who didn't go crazy on drugs.
Right.
He did them at school like everyone else. And basically, they're the least commercially successful of all the Libertine spin-off bands. They were this song was released in 2005. In comparison, I'll mention that Dirty Pretty Things debuted at number 5 in the charts. So you can kind of see the difference there.
Oh, that must have been gutting. As was it released the same week? Were they both listening to Mark Goodyear on Radio 1? Fingers crossed.
And I don't know, they're pretty obscure. The last time I heard, they released an EP late last year. And they're currently working on a follow-up album, but maybe this is their debut album, I'm not quite sure, but that's about it. It's very, very nice, and it's very optimistic, and it's very lovely, which is quite unexpected of a Libertines member, but yeah, it's lovely for a nice hot day like this one. So.
Zena, you have sold it beautifully. I'm going to listen to it now. I'm going to give you my damning verdict afterwards. Alright, stay there.
All right, then.
Yeti, Never Lose Your Sense of Wonder, as chosen by Zena from North London, who is still on the line. Zena, I've enjoyed that tune enormously.
Brilliant.
It's the perfect sort of summer recipe, really. Jangly guitars, Beatles-esque harmonies.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed for recommending it to me. I wish I could give you something as a gift, you know, some tickets to Glastonbury or something, but I have nothing.
Well, you know what? Talking to you is gift enough.
Thank you very much. For that alone, you should get all A's. It's odd that you were talking about reading books, because I used to be a big reader, but somewhere along the line, I've sort of stopped reading, and a friend of mine wrote a book in which I actually featured as a character along with a number of other people. We were kind of loosely, we were renamed, but we were essentially there, and I never even finished it. And you know you're not a big reader when even a book that features yourself as a main character you don't get to the end of. So I'm deeply ashamed. But all the best with your exams, as I say, and I hope you'll carry on listening.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much. A round of applause in the Steve Wright Star for Zena. Thank you very much, Zena.
Yay.
Harry, can you give us the jingle for Mr. Coverman?
Mr. Cover!
Still deeply offensive. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music, 4:15, with me, Stephen Merchant. Every week, of course, I get Harry to look in my hole, and I think you'll agree, Harry, it's a mess.
It's an absolute shambles.
It's an absolute disgrace. My pigeonhole
of carnage.
My pigeonhole is overrun with CDs, and it just seems to me that I thought unless I started kind of sifting through them and playing a few of them on the radio, then they would just end up piling up on my desk, and I'd never get through them. So loath as I am to play songs which are not yet available for you to buy or download, I'm going to try and squeeze in a few each week, which you will have a chance to buy in the future. First up, I have chosen the 1990s. I think actually they may just simply be called 1990s. I apologise again, I've added the. Oh, they'll be going ablaze on the emails and texts with criticisms of that one. But yeah, this is a track called See You at the Lights, produced by Bernard Butler, and it's a Glasgow band called the 1990s. 1990s, oh for goodness sake, just play it. 1990s, See You at the Lights, which is their forthcoming single, out on April the 16th. It's a Steve Show. Your opinion, Vic Sharma, web guru.
I thought it was nice. It reminded me. It was kind of like a Raucus show tune. I thought
Okay, right.
maybe like a sort of. It would fit in a kind of updated version of Grease.
Yeah, right. As maybe the closing song of Act 1, as the curtain comes down there at the end.
There were some jazz hands, there was a jazz hands vibe going on there. But I do like the romantic notion of seeing somebody at the lights, at the traffic lights. I assume that's where.
I'm assuming that is. I heard someone, a celebrity acquaintance, once told me that his attempt to pull women included just bumping into their car, sort of breaking a wing mirror or a back light, and then they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry," exchanging details. Ding dong, you've got our phone number. Costly, but it's apparently surprisingly successful. If you're made of money, you might want to give that one a thought. Harry, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, well, you know, like the decade, the 1990s, it was an enjoyable romp, but ultimately forgettable.
Very nice indeed.
Cheers.
Well, let's hope you do better, because the next choice is something that you've dug out and which you're very excited about.
I'm gigantically excited about the return of Dinosaur Jr., Steve, as I'm sure everyone who's listening is. This is off the new album, which is out, I think, in a few weeks' time, which is called Beyond. The track is called We're Not Alone.
We're Not Alone, Dinosaur Jr. on the Steve Show. If you cannot wait for the new album, then you can find that track on one of the giveaway CDs that stuck on the cover of one of the popular music magazines. I'm not going to name it, but wander in the shops, W.H. Smith or the like, and you will find it in there. Harry, you are such a fan of Dinosaur Jr. You're wearing one of their tour t-shirts.
It's not a particularly pretty t-shirt, I'm going to say that now, Steve. It's hideously purple. I don't know, is that a cow? It might be a
think it's
cow.
a cow.
Yeah, but in tribute to that fantastic song, which was, I think, a joyous country romp with a trademark Jane Maskis wibbly solo at the end. Brilliant.
I really enjoyed it, Vic Sharma.
Yeah, you really shredded that guitar, didn't he?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it is a good thing. I mean, it was surprisingly technically proficient from a musician's point of view. So congratulations to the man for doing that.
And the great thing now is that he does look like someone's gran. He's just got this flailing long grey hair. It looks fantastic to see him bashing out that solo. I can't wait to see him live.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've just got to mention a couple of the texts and stuff we got in, because I don't want people thinking that I'm just ignoring them while I'm listening to the music. We've got DG in Sussex says, Stephen, I'm cat-sitting for the folks and drinking all their beer while they're in Cornwall. The missus is at home decorating. Fluke out or what? I don't know how DG has managed to wangle that. I've just got to go and look after the cat.
Right result.
We'll bring the cat over here. I can't. Fumes from the paint. You carry on painting, love. I've got to look after the cat. Zenat gets some props from Ed in Glasgow. I think you found your female presenter. Of course, the She-Jays. Still looking for them. We'll explore the She-Jays more fully after the news. Hi, Stephen. My kids are a massive fan, and can you say hello, please, to my son, Joe? He looks like you. Oh, poor guy. I imagine he's being mercilessly bullied at school. Okay, final tune in this little selection from my pigeonhole is a forthcoming single from Lonely Deer, which is the nom de plume of some Swedish bloke called Emil, who is one of those kind of DIY music boffins, a bit like Vic Sharma, and he records stuff in his bedroom. This is a single called I Am John. I Am John, forthcoming single from Lonely Deer. That's out on the 23rd of April. Someone on the text has rightly pointed out that I neglected to mention which magazine you could get the Dinosaur Jr. track from, although I did mention W.H. Smith, and he's absolutely right, it is absurd. So obviously you can get it from not only W.H. Smith, but also perhaps Independent Newsagent or Tesco Metro. Guys, your thoughts on Lonely Deer? Vic Sharma.
Yeah, no, I really like that actually. It was kind of like tiny little constituent parts that kind of built to something really quite epic. So yeah,
Very much like myself.
yeah.
Thank you very much. I don't really know what that means. Maybe the show. Maybe we could describe that show. This show as that. Thank you. Go on, Harry. I'm rushing because we've got to get to the news, mate.
Yeah, well, after I left uni, I was able to put the letters after my name, MFI, because I did a Masters in Fey Indie. That's exactly what that is. I loved it.
Okay, after the news then we will explore some of our she-jays, plus we got a cracking tune from De La Soul. Steve Merchant, the BBC Six Music Show. The Steve Show is what you are currently listening to. And before the